Back again, Chef's Kiss. It's me, Peter, a.k.a. Sheff, with my buddy John. What's good, John?
What's up, buddy? Red
Happy
October
Monday.
hat. Happy Monday.
It
MLB
is Red
Playoff
October.
start tomorrow. You excited? Going to the game,
Yeah,
right?
dude. I am going to go to the game. It's the best month of the year, hands
It
down
is.
by far, in my opinion. Everything that I love is in this month. Comfy sweaters, MLB playoffs, football, crock pot recipes.
Our
pumpkin
wedding
everything.
anniversaries, which are on
Wedding
the same,
anniversaries.
which is this week, which are on the same day,
It's amazing.
October 5th, which is crazy.
Yes. It's pretty good. So, yeah, very happy that October's here. Today is the 2nd. Ready for, yeah, dude, baseball season. Baseball is such a long season, and I love baseball, but it is so damn long. You stop caring after a while. You're just like, dude, they're on every day, and so I understand. But I'm glad we're to the good part now. Now it's the good stuff.
Playoff baseball is the best.
Yes. So we got that going on, and yeah, we got a couple topics we're going to talk about today. John, what are we going to start with?
Well, we'll talk about the NFL, obviously, recap. But here in Chicago, it is not going well. So the Bears lost their 4th game in a row. They completely blew a massive lead
13th
against
game in a row.
13th game. Someone said it was like 340 days since their last win. It could be like an
October
entire year.
20-something.
Could be
Full calendar
could be
year,
an
yeah.
I know, it could almost be a full calendar year. So they lost again, despite Justin Fields having career high in completions at 28, yards 335, and passing touchdowns 4. But he did fumble, which led to a touchdown, and they also threw a pretty bad interception at the end. So the Bears are bad. We know this. We don't need to belabor it. So statistically, that's the best game a Bears quarterback has ever had, but he lost the game. They were talking about it this morning. They're like, statistically, it's the best game any Bears quarterback ever had, and of course he lost the game, which is very apropos. So, does Eberflus get fired today?
Today? I
Dude,
don't think so.
I know it's 4 games, but these are horrible.
Where do you
These
go
are
from
so
there
bad.
then? If he does get fired, where do you go from there?
I don't know. I mean, that's what I was going to ask you. Like, if you're Ryan Poles, what do you do right now? Do you tank for Caleb Williams? What do you do if you're Ryan Poles?
I don't have an answer. I have no idea. The play calling doesn't help Justin Fields either, right? There's no design runs. They're making stupid decisions with play calling.
He did improve. I mean, statistically he played so
John,
much better.
It's year 3, right? I mean, you should see some improvements. Everyone's I don't know. I can't tell you, John. I told you it's the same thing. It's not going to change until the McCaskies sell the team. It's not going to change. I don't care what coach you put in there, what draft quarterback you get. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They're losers. They are losers, and they will continue to lose until it is blown up. You have to blow it all up. That's what you have to do. And until that happens, nothing's going to change. So if I was Ryan Poles, I'd come to work today and drink my coffee and say, oh, we'll get them next week. We're going to come back Thursday. It's the same thing. Who cares? What are the expectations in Chicago? Expectations are low. Who are you disappointing? Nobody. The city's been disappointed for 2 decades. I mean, for real. Nobody's got fire down their throat. It's like, we suck. We know it, and that's it. They're still buying tickets. They're still going out to Soldier Field. What do you care as an owner?
I know, man. If you're still feeling no, I completely agree. And I think the way that you stop that is you stop going to games. But Chicago fans will never do it. They will pack Soldier Field. They could be 0-16, and that stadium will be filled. I mean, my dad worked for the beer industry for years. He recently retired. And he said, I was lucky. He got Bulls tickets, like when Jordan played. I got to see so many amazing things. I got to go to the 2002 All-Star Game, 2003 Home Run Derby. I saw so much cool stuff. But he said again and again in Chicago, the toughest ticket, regardless if they're good or not, is a Bears ticket in this town. Like the Cubs, Sox, whatever, Bulls, even with Jordan, which was unique. That was particularly unique. But this is a Bears town, and good or bad, that place is going to be sold out every weekend. So I think fans, if you really want to change, just like how the name got changed with the Redskins, it's like it's financials. Stop supporting this team. This team sucks. Okay? Their ownership is incompetent. When your ownership is incompetent, you don't know what you're looking for, therefore you hire the wrong people, then they hire the wrong coach, then the wrong coach or the wrong GM drafts the wrong quarterback, and then it's all, it's the same thing over and over again. So if you're a Bears fan, fucking quit on this team. This team sucks. The organization sucks. Like, quit on it. Like, stop supporting it. Don't watch games.
Like a bad marriage, right?
Stop going to games.
John, would you still be married to your wife if she was out cheating on you, staying out late, not communicating, being a terrible mother, getting drunk on the weekdays, popping pills,
Absolutely
gone for 7? You would not be with her, right? When these fans, this is what I don't think the fans that are like, oh, well, we're Bears fans. They put out this video. It was so dumb, dude. They took it from the Trey Turner thing. It was the Chicago CHGO, whatever that company is, and they're like, this week when Justin Fields gets on the field, we're gonna stand and we're gonna clap, whether it's a touchdown or a turnover. Shut the fuck up, dude. You guys you suck for so long. I don't want to support you. My time is way more valuable. As you get older, John, your time is valuable. I'm not going to sit there for 3 hours and watch this shitty product. If you are not working to get better, I'm not going to support you. Just like a marriage. This is a relationship. Fan is short for fanatic, right? I'm not going to continue to participate in this if I'm not getting anything back. And that's where I'm at right now. That's why it's Philly now, bro. Fuck Chicago.
You're like so down to Chicago. Every time I talk to you, you're like Phillies, Jalen Hurts. You left Chicago in your past. That's like something you're so done with. You're like, I'm all in on Philly. I know. I get it, dude.
Who wants to be a loser? And my brand is out here now. There's no point for me to be affiliated with Chicago shit. Like, this is where winners are out here, dude. The Phillies, the Eagles. What am I going to go, well, I'm still like watching the Bears. Fuck the Bears, dude. I'm not going to waste 3 hours on my Sunday watching those losers run around, blowing leads 21-7, 28-7, whatever it was.
Against a terrible team. Yeah.
It's an abusive relationship.
Dude, I'm with you. I think... I have so many friends and family members that are Bear fans. I would have quit on this team so long ago. I don't know how they do it. And I'm a Packer fan, obviously. So, we've an embarrassment of riches for me, at least. But throughout those years, I'm like...
quitting on the organization.
Like
a new team every year.
Absolutely.
Yes, the organization.
Absolutely. You quit on that organization.
There's a new team that comes in every year, and yes, you do ride with the ups and the downs as a fan. We've done it forever. You ride with the ups and downs. Yeah, we stink. But when the organization constantly just doesn't give a shit about you and does the wrong things, I'm done. I'm not wasting my time. That's a loser. That's an abusive relationship.
I agree. I think things will only change when people stop supporting this team. But people are obsessed with football, especially in Chicago, and it's never going to happen. And they're never going to sell the team. So if it ever changes, you're just gonna have to get really, really lucky.
Right.
And I don't see that ever happening anytime soon. All right, let's move on to the Bears because it's starting to depress me. Kings of the NFC. Niners looked amazing. I guess McCaffrey's probably your leader as of right now for MVP until he hurts his hamstring next week, inevitably. So Niners, Eagles. Eagles barely win against Washington. Dude, Sam Howell's pretty frisky. I can't believe they didn't go for 2. Why did they not go for...
I'm so glad you brought that up. So
Why did they not go for 2? Because when they kicked that field goal out, or when they kicked the extra point, I go, they are losing in overtime. I know Philly's going to beat them. I could not believe Ron Rivera didn't go for 2.
So, Ron Rivera, pretty sure he is a Marine. Correct me if I'm wrong, John. He lived on a military base, Germany, Panama.
I believe you're correct. I believe you're correct.
He is a Marine, right? And they don't say ex-Marines because you're never an ex-Marine. Ron Rivera is a Marine, right? In the art of war, when you have your opponent on the ground, Do you let them get back up? You step on their fucking neck.
Especially when you're on the road. When you're on the road.
When you're on the road and you're on the ropes and you know you're not going to go toe-to-toe with them in overtime. You know that. You take your shot now. I was so surprised that they didn't go for two. When I saw that, I was like, dude, you're really going to go to overtime with the Eagles. You are dumb for doing that. Oh my God, that's exactly what I was thinking.
They're clearly a more talented team than you are. So like, I couldn't believe that they let that touchdown at the end, that the last play. So I'm like, okay, like that they just stole one. Like, go for two. You got to go for the win. This is how you beat Philly. Philly's aggressive. Sirianni, that whole team. I go, you can't cover AJ Brown. You can't cover Devonta Smith. You haven't been able to do it all game. Like, forget it. They're more talented than you. Take the two. Like, have the play drawn up. Take your shot. And he didn't do it. And I'm so I don't know why. Maybe because like it was inexplicable. And then as soon as he kicked the extra point, I go, Philly is definitely going to win in overtime. And of course they did. But they don't look as good as last year, right? Like, I would probably still say the Niners are the best team in the NFC.
So the biggest thing that stood out yesterday was the defense for the Eagles. I think the defense looked sloppy.
If Fletcher Cox get hurt,
I'm not sure if he got hurt.
I think I saw him like come out of the game for a little bit.
The defense looked a little sloppy, obviously letting up that many points to the Commanders. One thing I always like to think about, somebody said it before, a win, maybe it was Jalen Hurts, a win looks different every week. Okay. And then something I learned when we were younger in high school, one of the coaches would say, sometimes you just got to escape the jungle. You know, winning is winning. That's all that matters. Jalen Hurts had the coldest quote earlier this week. And he was like, well, you came to this, you know, your individual accolades, but like, you know, winning is the only thing that's important. How did you come to that? And he's like, by losing. And it's like, that's all that matters. Winning and losing. My accomplishments, what the defense gave up doesn't matter. So winning looks different every week. And that's something, you know, that the Eagles get shit on for that. But, dude, look at their wide receivers putting up over 100 yards. Their running backs putting up over 100 yards for 3 consecutive weeks. Like, I think their standard is so high that when they don't hit it, it's like, oh, the Eagles looked really bad. It's like, they put up 30-something points, and, like, they, you know, it just looks different every week. And all that matters is that you do get those wins. Even if it is sloppy, that's what good teams do. I understand
you look at the Chiefs. You look at the Chiefs last night, and I have Mahomes as my quarterback, as one of my fantasy teams, and I was so angry he did not run that ball in for the touchdown because I desperately needed
those points too,
right? It screwed me. Like, I lost. I think he got at least 2 picks, but he threw a couple that easily could have been picked off.
No, I'm saying points. Like, how many points did he get you last night?
18. And I needed 30 to win, and I lost. So he was terrible. But when it counted, those runs on that last drive, like that 3rd and 22 or whatever, like.
With the hole.
Dude, I think people are surprised. Like, he surprises me. Like, he looks slow, but guys can't catch him. Like, it looks like
it's like
so much faster. It's so much faster.
Slow?
Yes. The same. That's a great analogy too. Like, very, very, very similar. Like, you're running, you're like, he's not that fast, but he's just elusive, they just can't quite get him, and he gets just enough. And he talked about in the post game, he goes, you need these ugly wins. He goes, it's about wins. He goes, obviously I want to play better, I want to have better stats. He goes, but ultimately, he goes, what we try, like, we're all about winning, and then we learn from this. So at the end of the year, and this is Andy Reid's whole thing, we want to be playing our best football in January. That's when we want to play. Similar with baseball, too. Like, you want to be healthy. Like, it's a long season, but you're hot, you're rolling. Like, you want to be playing your best baseball in September. And same goes with the Chiefs. Speaking of the Chiefs.
You did see that hold, though, right, John? That hold on that run, that 3rd and 22?
Yes.
That egregious. He was literally just standing there, arms locked, like, not even moving his feet. And,
I know.
And he's like, what? Egregious. And then there was that pass interference call after
he got lucky.
After the pass was thrown.
Yeah. So here's my question. Let's talk about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. I want
to know about rigging stuff too. I want to know about that.
we're rigging stuff too. But do you think NBC wanted the Chiefs to win? I mean, there's a lot of Taylor Swift cutaways. Like, you don't want to see Taylor Swift sad. Mm-hmm. Do you think Taylor Swift is good for the NFL?
I hate it. I'll be honest with you.
The NFL just changed their Twitter cover photo
that was real.
Taylor
right?
Swift. To
that
Taylor Swift, it was real.
Meme.
I checked. It's real. Go to NFL on Twitter or X.
Yeah,
I'm not calling it X anymore. They officially changed it.
Oh my God!
It's Taylor Swift. It's like 3 different shots of Taylor Swift. That's their official cover photo.
Yeah,
they're all in. But if you look, like, dude, I mean, you can't argue. Like, okay, so jersey sales for Kelsey went up 400%. They're the #1 podcast on Apple and Spotify. Like, he got 500,000 Instagram followers in a week. But is it good for the NFL?
I mean,
why do you hate it? Well, it's good for the NFL, obviously. But why do you hate it?
I don't like Taylor Swift. I don't like Taylor Swift at all. And I shouldn't. I'm not her demo. I'm a 35-year-old male. I shouldn't like. That's not who she's trying to grab. I don't like Taylor Swift. I think she talks in all of her songs. It was springtime and the sun was out. Like, she just talks. There's no, okay, I don't care for her music. I don't like it. And now the fact she's just like, John, I was talking to my wife about this yesterday. Anything that is thrown down in my face and jammed down my throat, I don't like it. That's certain agendas that the media puts out when you're like, I didn't feel like that before, but now I don't like it because you're jamming it down my throat. It's the same thing as Taylor Swift. It's like Taylor Swift. I posted something. They cut away to her 17 times. They showed her a movie. You saw the Front Office Sports tweeted it. And I'm just like, oh my God, dude, it's just too much. Too much. We don't care about Taylor Swift. Majority of these guys that are watching for football purposes.
But now there's so many other women. There's so many other people watching these games now because of her. They're getting a bigger viewership now.
Yeah, at what cost? Do you think their initial base, the average guy who watched the NFL, you think they like that cutaways to Taylor Swift? I think most of them are like, I don't give a shit. Stop showing her. Nobody cares that she's in the booth watching her boyfriend for the week. This girl also, John, it's not like she's like some, I don't know, whatever. She's had like 19 boyfriends. This is going to end in 4 months. Like, what are we doing here? They're not getting married.
I saw something on Twitter. It's like, I was like, would Taylor Swift be dating Travis Kelce if it was March? And I thought about it, and I was like, probably not.
Right.
Yeah.
She knows it's good for her brand, too. I'm hot. I just had the biggest summer concert
tour
series.
Ever, yeah.
They keep it going into fall now. They just showed, like, her jeans or something where they all sold out, whatever it was.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it's relevant to the NFL whatsoever. I think it's good for the NFL. I think they're profiting off it. I think they're getting more viewership. I mean, literally, I was watching the game last night. We're talking about it, too. My wife wants to watch Chiefs games because Taylor Swift. My mother-in-law was talking about it. My mom, who knows nothing about pop culture, no offense, Mom, that doesn't matter. She would never listen to this podcast. But she is interested. She Googled Travis Kelce. She learned about, he's a tight end for the Chiefs. Like, so it's good for the game. For the record, I do like her music. I think it's great. I'm a big fan of Taylor Swift.
I'm not gonna make fun of you for it. It's totally fine.
But I totally agree that I didn't want it to take over the game, and I knew it was going to. Like, she was in the house. I mean, when they opened, like Tirico and Collinsworth, they came on, and Tirico was like, "She's here. She's in the building." Like, they were set the tone. They're like, "There's going to be a lot of cutaways." Can you imagine if Kelsey actually had a decent game, or their offense actually put up points? She'd have been on it way more. Just think about 17 cutaways, and their offense didn't do that well.
Right.
But can we talk about how funny it was, Mahomes' wife, how miserable she looked in the booth?
No attention on her anymore.
Oh, man. Like, Patrick Mahomes' wife, and now like Taylor Swift comes in. How popular Taylor Swift is, and no one's talking about that. Like, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds are like right next to her. Like, no one's mentioning that.
Hugh Jackman was there too.
Yeah, Hugh Jackman.
Greatest Showman. Come on.
Dude, Hugh Jackman's a beast.
He is.
I Googled, like, for real. I was like, how do I get as jacked as Hugh Jackman was for Wolverine? And then I listened to him on a podcast, and he goes, he basically said it. He goes, the rower. Like, I do that rower. You sit, He goes, your arms, your back, your pecs, your muscles. He goes, that definition. He goes, I rode that thing for like, he goes, no joke, every day for months for like 3 to 4 hours. He goes, just the rower, just nonstop with tremendous resistance. I was like, I don't know if I have that commitment, but I would like his physique. That would be nice.
Yeah, especially at that age.
All right, so Swift bump, something we're going to have to deal with. Give me 1 second. Okay. Broadway Joe said he's seen enough of Zach Wilson. I don't think Joe Namath should be on TV anymore. He's kind of like a crazy old man and saying weird stuff.
Bro, they let Woody Page on TV still, and he's a crazy old man. So,
dude,
I don't know. I saw him. Dude,
How long has he been doing Around the Horn?
Dude, his face, it looks like gravity is like 4 times the amount on his face. He just like,
he does not look. No, he's
like a bumbling, stumbling idiot.
I know. All right, so we did a couple of my stuff. I got some baseball stuff, but before we get into baseball stuff, let's keep it rolling with football. And I want to talk about Coach Jason Brown from Last Chance U. So tell us about this because I'm fascinated about it.
All right, dude. So I posted a video not too long ago. It was a meme, okay, on my social media, on Sheffield Shuffler social media. It said, Jahmyr Gibbs, put me in, coach, and then Dan Campbell. And then it was him, Coach Jason Brown, from Last Chance U. It was a clip, right? Did really well.
Yep.
12,000 likes. 392,000 views. Did well, right? So, I tagged him. It's fine. Thought it'd be cool. This dude, by the way, you got to keep in mind, this guy is the loudest, white trash, pre-diabetic dude you've ever seen.
Explain who he is, what Last Chance U is, so that people know what you're talking about.
Last Chance U is a show on Netflix, okay? It takes all the kids who went to large universities and then screwed up, whether it was grades, they did something, they got in legal trouble, and then they go to this other little community college. And he was the coach of the community college, and they're supposed to be, like, really good. Coach Jason Brown is a loudmouth, white trash, pre-diabetic coach, essentially. He's just like a bully. He's essentially just a bully. He yells and curses and screams at kids and tries to intimidate them. So I said, people, he even reposted my video on his story. I was like, oh, cool. And I was a fan of this guy. I was like, dude, this guy's funny. He screams, he yells at these kids. And then he messages me yesterday at like noon. Why didn't y'all tag me, though, since you use my shit? And I said, and I'm going to put all these screenshots, I'm going to put them all up on the screen so you can see them.
Okay, cool.
I said, we did. Look at the tags on the video. He said, never heard of you guys. I said, okay. John, your mic. There we go. That's better. There we go. Now we're back.
Let's do it.
Okay. Picking up right where we left off. Never heard of you guys. Okay. ... Here's his next message. More bottom feeders looking to grow off another man's name. Nice. I said, what the hell are you talking about, guy? We tagged you in the video, and our following is just as big as yours. Get off your high horse. FYI, this is my 3rd account that's been deleted, clown. You pussies just live off others' names without doing any work yourself. Bottom feeders. Do some work yourself, you fucking parasites. End quote. What? Dude, what is wrong with you? You dumb motherfucker, dude. What are you talking about? Do you not know how... This guy doesn't know how social media works. We tagged you. Like, what are you mad about? What are you mad at? He goes, you bottom feeders looking to grow off another man's name. What are you talking about? Dude, you don't own that piece of content. First off, Netflix does. They were just filming your dumb ass swearing at all these kids, okay? You're lucky. Number 2, you're lucky anybody is still talking about you. You're not relevant. You're just a dumb, loud coach, okay? So That's number 2. You're lucky anybody's still talking about you. And then number 3, what are you upset about? What are you yelling at me for? I tagged you in the video. Okay, it's doing really well. You should be happy. This guy clearly doesn't know how social media works, John. So, or he was drunk, or doing something else. But Coach Jason Brown, you're an idiot. If you need to know how social media works, call me up and I'll come out there and I'll teach you how social media works. Okay? That's my message for him.
Wow.
What a clown, dude. Why are you so upset? I don't get it.
I don't understand what he's.
And then he
upset
blocked
about.
me.
Well, of course. Dude, there might be something else going on in his life that he's clearly upset about. Because I don't know.
He liked it. He posted it to his story the other day. And then yesterday, why didn't y'all tag me, though, since you used my shit? I said, we did. Look at the tags on the video. Never heard of you guys. Okay. More bottom feeders looking to grow. Like, what are you talking about, dude? You're a fucking loser. Like, he was either drunk or he doesn't understand how social media works. Like, what do you think? Like, I needed to post a video of you to grow?
What was the time that he sent this? Was this like late at night?
No, this was like 12:17 in the afternoon. Yesterday afternoon, right before football.
That's it. Well, that's even more concerning then. The fact that he was like sober and wrote that. Maybe.
I just don't understand what you were super upset about. And I was a fan of this guy, dude. I was like, oh, JB, he's so funny. Fuck that guy now, dude. Fuck him. He's a piece of shit. Dumbass.
Damn,
I just don't understand like why like
definitely share the clip so people can see that because
I'm gonna chop this up and then tag him on Twitter because
cool.
he didn't tag me. He didn't delete me on Twitter yet. So
this is gonna go back and forth. This is great. This is awesome.
Oh yeah. Screw that guy.
Monday morning overreaction for NFL. Baker is good, but you want to stop talking about it.
What do you mean?
Well, you said Baker is good enough, right?
Oh, like he's good enough. Like the Bucs are winning. I think the Bucs look good. I'm not going to say like Baker Mayfield's good, but I'm like Baker Mayfield's good enough. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, he's
making
fine.
all the throws. His wide receivers are bailing him
I think he's healthy now, which clearly in Cleveland he wasn't. Oh my god, dude!
Shoulder issues. Yeah,
I remember that Christmas game against the Packers when Rodgers broke Favre's record. He had 5 picks. He could barely like throw the ball 15 yards. I'm like, this guy is so limited. Why is he playing football? He should not be playing. But yeah, they look really good. Saints were really disappointing. I drafted Kamara hoping that he would have a huge game in week 4, and he kind of sucked. So they're not really good. Steelers are terrible. Pickett is a total bust. Like, they missed that. Is this crazy? Is it crazy to say, like, should they start Trubisky? Like, Pickett's horrible. Should Trubisky get another shot?
I don't think you can at this point. Like, the whole like up
but
and back
Pickett's
thing.
So
if you already
bad.
sold, sure, but I don't think you can give up on him that quickly. Especially like we said, we saw his preseason. I thought the Steelers were gonna have a good offense, but also too, dude. Like, look at their running backs. Like Najee Harris scored over 10 points for the first time this season. Like
something
he gets
happened.
volume.
He fell off a cliff, dude. So I don't know what happened to him. Like I don't know, too many hits or something. But like he's like done. There is this.
You also have Matt Canada calling the offense too, and I think if we're
that too. But Najee Harris too. There's a difference from than what he was in the first couple of years.
100%.
And there's something.
Another guy who looks like he's running in slow motion.
100%. But there's something with running backs too, and you saw it with Zeke like the last couple of years at Dallas, where it's just the number of hits pile up or whatever, but you're just like, wow, there is a huge contrast of like what they were and what they are now. And it happens like so quick, like really, really quick. I'm going to be really sad when in like 2 years when Christian McCaffrey has taken so many hits and now he's just like a shell
of himself.
Kinda, yeah. Like they're gonna have to use like design plays for him. You know, It's fun to watch him now, but like you have like a 2 to 3 year shelf life as a running back in the NFL. After
and
that,
to be as explosive as he is.
Yes,
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
different kind of backs. Like Frank Gore was like that. He's a more of a reliable, durable kind of back. But to be as explosive and a pass catcher like Christian McCaffrey is, shelf life very small. That's why they have to capitalize on their contracts as quick as they can.
I know. CJ Stroud, you think he'll be a top 10 QB? He looks pretty good. That throw
was
to Collins. There was a couple throws he made in that game.
He had 2 touchdowns to Collins. They have a really good repertoire.
But he threw some dimes, really good throws.
But they're like that's his target. I think he threw 2 touchdowns to him, and they just looked in sync together.
Yeah, really good. All right, playoff baseball. Real quick, Cubs. Is it? Will this season be remembered for their late season collapse, or is it a precursor for success because they outdid their performance this year?
Yeah, I think you can look at it a little bit, maybe like a 2014, 2015. 2015 they still went to the wild card game, I believe, but it was a collapse for sure. It was sad, like we were talking about how playing your best baseball in September, they did the exact opposite. They kind of let that go.
They lost 15 of their last 21 games. That's pretty bad.
They outperformed their expectations, right? I think they were projected to have 70-something wins. They ended up
under
with over
80. Yep.
Under 80, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So good takeaways, right? Cody Bellinger, first off, retain him at all costs. Keep Cody Bellinger.
So Ricketts had a closed door meeting with him, like just him and Ricketts. So I think hopefully he's going to be like, hey, money's not an option. Like, we want you here. We want to keep you here. Mm-hmm. So fingers crossed. Hopefully he stays.
Yeah, and everybody always has great things to say about Wrigley. It's a beautiful environment. The fans are special. It really is a special place to play.
Yeah, but ultimately it comes down to who's going to give me the most money. Let's be real.
Exactly. That's why, I don't read into I love Wrigley. Everybody does because it's awesome.
I don't believe anything he says, but that's why I feel good about Ricketts meeting with him, saying, "Hey, we want you here, and don't worry about it. We have the money.
We'll make it
we
happen.
Spent. Yeah, we'll make it happen." That gives me a lot of hope, which is good.
Number 2, young talent, John. Christopher Morel, Nico Horner, Ian Happ, another Gold Glover. Kind of everybody getting to coming together and gelling as a team like that. Chemistry is really important in baseball. Suzuki, I just didn't meet the expectations that we had, I think. Suzuki out in right field made obviously a huge error catching the ball on one of those games against the Braves. But you can add some pieces there. The bullpen, very weak. You're going to have to put something around Justin Steele on the front end of the rotation. Jameson Taillon, not going to do it. Kyle Hendricks is going on fumes over here. He's going to be wrapped up pretty soon. So if you're going to build around...
Option, I heard, though.
If you're going to build around Justin Steele, you got to put another 1 or 2 in there, some pieces in the bullpen. And I'm fine with the offense, dude. They put up 10 runs a game. They can explode at any time. So that's the stuff that I like to see, and then you just tighten it up with the bullpen, and I think they're in good shape. I don't have bad juju with them going into the offseason. We knew that they weren't going to be star killers over here. So the fact that they went to game 162 with the hopes of getting into the playoffs, if you would have told me that at the beginning of the season, that's all I can ask for. You have a shot at game 161, 162. You got a shot. So That's all you could ask for. Happy for it.
Absolutely. I think they overperformed. I was pretty happy with that. Obviously not happy with their collapse at the end of the season. But the callers on the sports talk radio, fans are idiots, obviously, but they're they want Ross's job for this collapse. I'm like, Ross is fine. He's a good manager. He's working with Julian Merriweather, Mark Leiter Jr. These guys are they all have career high in innings pitched. They have nothing. Everyone is on fumes. He has absolutely nothing in the bullpen. Nothing. This is not on him. They overperformed. Let's move on. Buck Showalter is not going to be the manager of the Chicago Cubs. I don't want to hear any more of that shit. Ross is a really good manager. I think he's excellent at managing a bullpen. He just didn't have the horses this year, and I think they'll be better off next year. So
And if I want someone managing that bullpen, I want an ex-Cubs catcher, honestly.
100%. I think that's one of his best attributes is managing a bullpen. I think he's excellent at it when he has the pieces, and he just doesn't right now. Playoff baseball, you're going to the Phillies game tomorrow against the Marlins. Luzardo pitching. You know something funny I saw on Twitter? I think Schwarber ended the year with 47 home runs, but his batting average was 198.
Under 200, but with over 100 RBIs.
How do you?
Over 100
Is that a good season?
Because nobody talks about his walks. That's the biggest thing. Is nobody talks about his walks. Because look at his on base.
What's his OPS?
Pull it up. Jamie, can we pull it up?
Jamie, pull it up. Our fake intern. I'm doing it right now.
Okay.
Well, I want to do Schwarber's on base, and then
that's the biggest thing that people talk about. They're saying, "Oh yeah, his batting average sucks, but he hits a lot of home runs. So is it a good season or bad season?" But they don't talk about the walks that he takes, and he didn't take those previously. So the fact that he's getting on base,
343 on base percentage, OPS 817.
That's where it should be.
That's a really good OPS. Very, very good. 104 RBIs, 47 bombs.
You can't say 100 RBIs is a bad season, dude. You're driving in 100 ribbies. That's great. From a fucking leadoff spot most of the time, too?
I know. He hits leadoff.
Come on. That's ridiculous. Show me another leadoff hitter that has those RBIs.
And those homers mean so much more in the playoffs. Like,
oh, yeah.
Way, way more. Jeff Passan was read a stat. You know, they were asking him about how he felt about, you know, the playoffs and who he thought. He goes, if you look statistically, he goes, the team that hits the most home runs, he goes in the playoffs is like, they're usually shot. Like in the World Series. Like,
yeah, you
gotta hit some bombs. That's why I wonder. I think people are kind of sleeping on the Milwaukee Brewers. I think their pitching is so good. It's just so hard for teams to score a run. But all right, so let's talk about the bracket. So you got
we talked about the bracket, and then I want to put together a parlay for tomorrow.
Oh, you want to do that now?
Well, they don't have the run line. I guess the run line doesn't matter. Phillies are favorites at -166. Marlins are plus 140. I just didn't know if you had like a leg or something you wanted to add to that parlay tomorrow, because there's nothing better than hitting bets at the game that you're at, being at the game that you bet on.
Would it, if you hit your bet or you didn't hit your bet, would it ruin your experience at the game with your wife?
No.
It doesn't.
I'm there to watch the Phillies win. Huh?
Yeah. So you don't care. Like, I mean, obviously you care, but like it wouldn't ruin your day.
Also, I'm not like unloading all my units, right? Like, I have my bankroll, and a smart bettor like doesn't like, I'm gonna bet $500 today. And it's like, okay, well, that's probably not a good idea. Like, you bet your unit size, and then if it loses, yeah, I lost a unit, I win that back tomorrow, whatever it is. Yep. So, yeah, and it's gonna be a playoff Phillies game, dude. At 8:08 at the bank, it's gonna be electric.
It's gonna be awesome. Who's pitching for the Phillies?
Oh. John, pull up the Schwarberger. The Phillies just released a new cheeseburger for the postseason. Share your screen once you see it. Oh my God, dude, I have to find out where in the stadium it is, and I have to go get it and then do a review on it because it's massive.
All right, give me a second.
Someone sent it to me. I believe it's called the Schwarberger.
All right.
Let me know when you see it.
I'm going to go on Twitter. Give me a second. All right. I cannot find it. Who sent it to you?
Let's see.
Schwarberger, Phillies. I'm Googling it. I'm looking for images.
The Schwarberger. New Phillies games for the postseason. The Schwarberger. Darren Rovell tweeted it.
Okay.
Regardless, this is what it looks like. It's massive. It's got like onion rings. It's a huge burger. So I'm gonna check that out tomorrow. If you can't find it, it's no big deal.
I'm going to Darren Rovell.
Yeah. So I gotta check that out.
Wow.
And
that looks incredible.
yeah. Yeah, it looks pretty good. So hopefully I can find out where they sell that in the stadium. And then grab one.
Can you handle that?
Please, dude. I can handle a lot of meat. Let's be real.
You should just cut that and replay that.
Yeah, got that meat.
That should be our next drop. All right, so playoff picture.
Yeah, bracket.
Okay. So let's start in the AL. Twins, Jays. I'm picking the Blue
Jays
Jays.
winning that, obviously.
Okay. Jays, Astros. I'm probably picking the Astros.
Probably Astros.
Tampa, Texas. I'm going to take Texas.
I'm going to take Tampa. I want Tampa to win.
I want Tampa to win too, but I'm going to take Texas.
Okay.
We'll just do the first rounds. Brewers, Diamondbacks. I'm taking the Brewers.
Okay. I would want Diamondbacks.
Really? Why?
Yeah. I mean, I don't care for the Brewers. Everything in Wisconsin is disgusting.
And then Phillies, Marlins, obviously. Why?
And I think they have a very good young roster, too.
I think the Phillies beat the Marlins. Dude, no offense. I don't think they're not beating the Braves. They're just not.
Who?
The Phillies. There's no way.
Yeah. I mean, everyone said that last year, too. So, when it gets to the postseason, dude, wonky things can happen. And
dude, that
they
team
did last year. Their
lineup is so good. I mean, everyone is a home run threat, and that's what kills in the postseason. Like they just, I think Atlanta is so good at every position. They're so good.
Yeah.
How do you think?
Yeah, they are good. But so are the Phillies.
Not, dude.
You can't say that any team doesn't have a shot. At this point, every team has a shot, I would say, besides the Twins.
Give me your best case of how the Phillies could beat Atlanta. How?
Starting pitching stands on its head. I mean, the offense I'm not worried about. Offense can explode at any point. You go through that entire lineup, you go from 1 to 9, and you can't tell me that they can't break out. Trey Turner hits a home run, Alec Boehm, JT. I mean, everybody has home run potential. So you can't tell me you're ever out of a game offensively. Defensively, yeah. You get to bullpen, you get them with their backs against the wall. That's where you're going to take advantage of them for sure. And you need their starting pitching to go deep because you can't rely, especially in a 7-game series, to go to the bullpen how many times in a series. So you're going to need strong starts from your starting pitching. Taijuan Walker is going to have to look good. Ranger Suarez is going to, and Wheeler, Nola, everybody. You can't. You got to score early, and you can't rely on your bullpen too much. You got a couple horses in there. Alvarado, I love out there. Craig Kimbrell might be the last year that he, you can count on him. Maybe he had a stretch this year that was very good and reliable. So. Yeah, we'll see. But I don't think you can say, like, they have no shot.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it should be interesting. Dude, excited for you to go to the game tomorrow. I'll probably be texting you, send updates. I'll be following your socials. Yeah, dude, definitely for Coach Brown, like, please share that because I think we would all desperately want to see that exchange and him freaking out.
Oh, yeah, he would just go off and make fun of me and do all that stuff. So that's fine.
Cool. That's it, man.
But yeah, all right, cool. Good epi. John, I'll see you next week then, okay?
Sounds good, buddy.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Peace.